It was good, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Game Show. I'm one of your hosts, Fred. Why Mike is at work. All right, so I did a little ditty before I came home, and I got an email about somebody asked me about how to get their production stuff started and all this other stuff. And I'm seeing I'm getting these closed captions. I don't know how to get rid of that, but someone was asking me how they could get their all their stuff started, and honestly, I've answered this question I don't know how many times, and I gave y'all links and things where you can go get your stuff. But before I start anything, man, a new site has launched today. It's called I don't know why I keep looking. It's called KastAway, where you can go get you some nice home goods, nice thoughtful gifts, stuff for your home, things of that nature, some nice decorum. The description is in below, so y'all go check these folks out and get some nice bargains. Let them know that the Gamer Show sent you through. It's KastAway, and all the information is below, so y'all can go check this out. Okay, so first, when you are doing video production, remember, you have to invest in yourself, because if you don't invest in yourself, nobody else would. And the one thing is that nobody's going to see your dream like you see it. So it's best that if you start the business, you go in it alone, because not everybody is going to have the same vision as you. So with that being said, there is a couple of things that you would need to get started. Now, the stuff that I got is a little extravagant for what you might want to do. So I'm just going to give you the best case scenario of all the equipment that you need to give. I don't think I'm going to have too many visuals, because I'm busy right now. I'm doing something. I'm working on this cartoon. So hopefully the stream does not go real long, because I have to finish working on this cartoon. So the first thing that's most important is, are you going to be a videographer and an editor, or are you just going to be a videographer? Well, there's some things that you would need to learn. If you're going to, like myself, if you want to do it all in one, you want to produce and edit videos, well, you need to see what your strong suits are first, right? Now, all of this will come in time. As soon as you pick up that camera, you're going to have some mistakes along the way. God knows I still do along the way. So every videographer, or photographer for that matter, does not go unscathed without some type of problems occurring through their tenure of being in this profession. So you got to take the good with the bad, and more than likely some of the bad stuff may happen more than the good. So what you need to know first is that what type of system are you comfortable working with? That's going to be a very important factor. If you're comfortable with working on Windows versus Mac, that plays a very important part. Now, me, honestly, I don't deal with anything Adobe unless it's Photoshop. I don't really know how to use After Effects. I don't know how to use After Effects at all. I'm not skilled in After Effects, so I don't know how to use it. My supplement from After Effects would be Motion, Apple Motion. Motion does the same thing that After Effects does. To me, I don't know if it does it better. I'm not going to make that call. Again, I don't know anything about After Effects. I just know about Motion. Okay. So with that being said, if I said Motion, for some of you all, automatically I work on the Mac. I stream on a PC. I am a PC technician. I do build PCs. I can't build Macs because you can't get OEM parts from the Mac store or CompUSA or Micro Center, you just can't walk in there and get peripherals like that, like a motherboard and the chassis and the case and all that other stuff. You can order that stuff, but it's going to cost you a pretty penny. If you're building a PC, it's relatively cheap than doing the Mac. But I edit on Macs. I just stream on PCs. So what you're seeing right now, I'm streaming off of a PC and using OBS. So the first thing you need to think of is what type of software are you comfortable with and what type of hardware are you comfortable with working on. If you're comfortable with working on PCs, there are an arrangement of non-linear programs that you can use. You can use stuff like Vegas. You can use Adobe Premiere with After Effects. You can use DaVinci Resolve. Also, if you're comfortable on a Mac, you can also use DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, and Adobe software as well. So, like when I have to do my jewel casings and stuff like that, or my jackets, I use Photoshop. Now, I'm not proficient in Photoshop. I know a couple of people that are, and if I really need something real heavily done, I'll reach out to them. Now, I'm not a Photoshop guy. I know a little tricks and trades, but I don't know as much as like Mark or Mike does. So, with that being said, you need to know what platform you're going to work on, right? So once you got that out the way, you need to just learn that skill, right? So with Mac, you're dealing with files like .mov, and I'm not going to explain this whole stuff, y'all, because some of this stuff, I just want you to do your own research. With Mac, you'll be working with .mov files and .mp4 files. With Windows, you'll be working with .avi files, and you'll be working with not MOV files, but MP4 files, right? AVI files I found be a little larger than MP4 files. They're a lot larger, so you need to distinguish which one you want to work with. Me, I prefer Mac, because that's what I'm most comfortable with. That's what I work on. Tell you a little story. When I first started getting into video production, it took me over 2 years to research the equipment that I was getting, because when I found out how much a professional camcorder costs and I started saving up for it, I was like, this is going to be a commitment. This is really going to be a commitment. I'm spending this type of bread on just a damn camera. It's going to be a commitment. So I did my research for a couple of years before I decided to dive in. And then when I did, I kept hearing this stuff about Premiere, and I kept hearing some stuff about Final Cut. Well, going back and forth, I found out that After Effects was used primarily as a special effects source, but they would primarily use Final Cut Pro. So that's what I went with. Then I had to go back and research these cameras. And then when I researched the cameras, I found out that they imported into Final Cut Pro with no problem. I didn't have to do a lot of stuff. The only thing I had to do was put the card in the card reader, dump those files onto the hard drive, and boom. First Final Cut that I tested, it was a lot of rendering issues. Like anytime you made an edit, then that whole piece of footage had to be re-rendered, and that was kind of a blower. But at the end of the day, it was all worth it with the amount of stuff that you could do. When I got the Final Cut Production Suite, it came with an assortment of editing tools, live type, motion, soundstage. I can't forget. It was like maybe 7 different softwares in one, but you had the whole production suite. And this is what they were making big budget movies on. So I was like, okay, if they're making big budget movies on this particular software, then I want it. So I went with Final Cut Pro. And then when I got to what cameras that was best to work with Final Cut Pro, because some of the cameras I was looking at was tape based, and then you had to dump the footage through IEE 4 which is Firewire, and that would take a long time because you would have to play that whole footage back because it was tape based instead of recording it on the SD card, and then you take your SD card out and you stick it in your Mac, and you just dump that footage off and put it in the timeline. So now, that's what you have to look at first. You have to look at first the type of hardware you want to work on, Mac or PC, right? So then next you got to find out what camera you want to work with. Okay. Now a lot of people make mistakes by getting their first camera by getting a DSLR. I've seen many people in the field shooting music videos with a DSLR. Okay. A Canon 7T or a Canon this, you know what I'm saying? That's good to start out with, but you don't want to make that a habit, right? The thing is, if you get a DSLR is a camera first and a camcorder second. If you get a professional camera, like a Blackmagic camera, like one of the ones that I own, it is a camcorder first and a camera second. That means that those secondary functions will not be as good as using a DSLR. If you want to do pictures, professional pictures, it's fine. Get a DSLR, a megapixel that holds past 18, right? You get a 24 megapixel DSLR, okay? But people use DSLRs in music videos. I've seen it, you know what I'm saying? And the good thing about using DSLRs is the lenses are very cheap. You can get an assortment amount of lenses, and you can have a nice production shoot with, being far away or close up or getting many details of your subject. That's fine. But when you're recording with a DSLR, see, a DSLR has only a minimal amount of time before it stop recording. So say if you record in your church service with a DSLR, you press record. It may record like 13 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Then that DSLR is going to stop. That's because the processor chip has gotten so hot that it needs to stop to cool down. That means that this was not made ideally for a video production camera. It wasn't. It was only made for photos primarily. Now, if you do have a DSLR, there's a software that you can put on there called Magic Lantern that will turn it into a camera. Now, you can do that, but you risk damaging your cameras by doing that because it will keep recording. That means that chip is getting hot. Now, the software changes something in there where you don't continuously, you can continuously run that camera without it getting hot. But I wouldn't risk you paying almost $1,000 or over $1,000 for this piece of equipment and then you ruin it by turning it into something that it's not supposed to be, right? So what you have to do is, hold on. Yeah, I had to wait 2 years, man. 2 years. Because I did a lot of researching before I... What's up, Mark? This is one of the guys that I can refer y'all to. He way out, but yeah, he does great, exceptional video production services. So, where was I? So a DSLR. Now, if you have like one of those Mark IIs or Mark Vs, I think those are capable. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mark. Those have a clean HDMI out, and you can use it as a camera. Now, when I say a clean HDMI out, again, y'all gonna have to do a lot of researching on this because I don't want to go too in detail. Because, like I said, I just did this for a family member that emailed me. Because I don't call them fans of the show; I call them family members. So I did this for a family member of the show that emailed me and said that he wanted to do production work and how do you do it and all this other stuff. But I'll do it again. I don't have a problem with that. But I think those Mark 5 or Mark D5s or whatever, those are capable of being a camcorder as well. And some studios have used that. The only thing with that is that it doesn't have the capability of doing as much as a production camera. Okay, you can do your white balancing, you can do your slow motion stuff, but if you get a full-fledged like Blackmagic camera, it's the one that I use, or Red camera, and it has the capability of doing like super slow motion, 120 frames, something like that, then most DSLRs don't do that. So that's why you would go with a professional video production camera. So now that you got the video production cameras out the way or whatever, you seriously need to look at that. You seriously need to do your due diligence and research that camera. Like I said, it took me 2 years just to buy one camera. I saved up for it, but I kept researching it. Now, other cameras came along that I could have easily brought with the money that I had already saved up, but they were cheaper than this camera, but they didn't do as much. They didn't have a lot of functionalities as this camera, like zebra printing, white balancing, slow motion, different frame rates. At that time when I first started, you had a difference between shooting in 1080i or 1080p. And most people got confused what 1080p and 1080i is. 1080i and 1080p, although they're the same resolution, they're not. How can I explain this so y'all can get it? If you're watching say if you're watching a soccer game, right? And you see the guy kick the ball. Now, I'm not a sports fan, so I don't know he kicks the damn ball. If he kicks the ball, you'll see a smooth transition, right? You'll just see it go across the screen like this. But if it judders, you know what I'm saying? And some trained eyes can see that. That's a difference. 1080i and 1080p, you have full frames. So if you have 30 blocks in a frame, right? That's 1080p. If you have half of 30, it's 15, right? So if you have 15 blocks in the frame, that's 1080i. And the reason why that's different is because 1080i skips a frame. So that's why you'll see a lot of jagged edges. So if you record, say you took two cameras, you recorded one camera in 1080p, you recorded one camera in 1080i, and you put both of these cameras in your timeline, right? You would see that the 1080i was shorter than the 1080p. But if you play the 1080i back, it'll end up with the same result. So at the end of your clip, if you clap 2 times or 3 times, if you look at that 1080i footage, you'll see that you have clapped 2 times. What's up? Hey, man, I was right around your way, bruh. I was right around your way. I was right around your way, man. And I thought you was at work, E. I was right around your way because I had a call right up there. I just left around your way, man, because I passed the Target and all of that, bro. I thought you was at work. I was like, well, let me call. Nah, he at work. I was gonna stop past your house, man, and I was right there. I was right there by your house. Man. What's going everybody on Twitch and YouTube? But damn, Eric, I was right by your house, man. I was gonna stop past there. But so if you look at your timeline, you would notice that your 1080i footage is shorter than your 1080p footage, but you have the same result. At the end of the clip, you'll see yourself clap 2 or 3 times. That's on the 1080i. If you look at your clip at your 1080p, you'll see you clap 3 or 4 times. The difference is that there's a frame missing. Every other frame is missing in the 1080i footage. So that's what I was dealing with when I first started doing the video production. And mind you, when I first started doing video production, I had no clue of what I was doing. I knew that you press that record button to start and then you pressed it to stop. That's all I knew about video production. That's all I knew. You know, I grew up watching Betamax tapes. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I knew. So that's years down the line. And now I feel that I've perfected the software that I'm using. Although I'm not 100% on that, because the software that I use does so much stuff that by the time you learn everything that software does, it comes out with an update and like, damn, now I was already at 75%. Now I'm back down to 40. You know what I'm saying? So that's just it with that, because I don't sit at home all day just on the computer. You know what I'm saying? So that's not what it is. Oh, he said I don't speak English. Oh. So the other thing that you would need to know when you get your camera, you need to know, of course, frame rate. How many frames does it do? Okay? What resolution does it do? Right? Now, y'all are dealing with 4K, 8K, 4K, 6K, 8K, and 12K. Okay? 12K is overkill. But I did at that time was about to buy that Blackmagic 12K camera because it came down from $9,000 to $5,000, and I was about to get that joint. If I would have did what if I didn't do the shit that I did, man, I would have had that camera, and I would have been my feet would have been in some fucking sand right now. But shit, getting off topic. But 4K, well, 2K, 4K, 6K, 12, 8K, and 12K. Okay. Now, if you're going to get something like a 12K camera, and let's say you go to Blackmagic design, you can get that Blackmagic camera. Now, you can shoot in 12K, and you'll have fantastic footage. But the thing is that nobody has a TV that supports 12K footage. Nobody has a TV that supports 12K footage. You may have a TV that supports 8K or 4K, but nobody supports 12K footage. But the benefit of getting a 12K camera is that you can take that footage that you recorded and you can put it in a 1080p timeline. Now, again, y'all need to do y'all research because I'm not going to go into all this shit. This is enough that I'm giving y'all. You can put your 12K footage in a 1080p timeline, and you can crop it, you can cut it without distorting any of it. See, the most problem that people had is when they first started doing video production, they started out with one camera. And with that one camera, they were doing the work of two cameras, where you're recording a person that's being interviewed. Now, you have two people right here. This is the interviewer. This is the person getting interviewed. So this person is talking to this person. That person is talking to that person. So now you only got one shot of them talking to each other. Well, what people started doing with 1080p was they would split up that camera footage. They would have three different sets of footage. They'll have the footage where both of them are in it. Then they'll just have one footage of the person that's talking, that's the announcer, and the person that's getting interviewed. So what happens is when you start stretching that footage out, you'll start pixelating it. And when I say pixelating, you'll see a lot of noise, a lot of static, or what we call noise. You'll see a lot of static, a lot of little dotted lines in your footage. That's because you're stretching out the resolution. It has nowhere to go. You're shooting you shot at 1080p at 30 frames per second, and you're editing in a timeline that's 30 frames per second. What you should have done was take that 1080p footage and put it in the 720p Now, I don't know how much better that you would have gotten depending on how you crop that footage, but it would have been a lot better than shooting in 1080p and editing in 1080p. And that's one of the things that common mistakes that videographers make. They edit in the same resolution that they're shooting. Now, when we do YouTube videos, our content creators, normally we would shoot in 1080p, but we would edit in 720. The reason why, and we would edit 720 at 30 frames per second. The reason why we would shoot at 1080p is because we have more data to work with, right? But when we put it in a 720p timeline, we can stretch that footage, we can crop that footage, and then it won't get pixelated because we have so much more to work with. For instance, if you took a regular size 12-ounce bottle, water bottle, and you poured some of it into a regular old Crown Royal shot glass, right? You see, you still have water in this bottle. You still have so much water in this bottle. You can pour water in that shot glass and it get filled to the rim. You can drink some and then pour it in again. And you can just keep pouring it until you're out of water into that shot glass. That's what your timeline is your shot glass. Your footage is that water bottle, that 1080p, right? That your water bottle is 1080p. Your shot glass is 720p, right? So you have multiple times that you can pour that water in there. So that's one of the common mistakes that videographers make. Now, me, for instance, depending on where I shoot or how I shoot, I'll shoot in a higher resolution than what I give to the customer. So, for instance, if I have to do a 4 or 2 camera shoot, usually I'll record in a higher frame rate because I'm only editing in 1080p or 720p. 1080p is the highest that I go up because when you upload it to YouTube, like this video is streaming at 720. At 720 at 30 frames per second. Now, a lot of y'all may get confused about the 30 FPS. It's called frames per second. Like I said, some of y'all are going to have to do your research on this. But there's a difference between 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second, right? Now, 60 is more than 30. So we all know this. So depending on the type of footage that you're watching, it has more movement in it. So you see how my hand is moving right now? It has a stutter effect. Because this is what the eye is trained to. You see how my hand is moving? That's what you're normally used to seeing. A lot of people, when Blu-rays and stuff came out and you got that 1080p at 60 frames per second, or 60 FPS, a lot of people were getting headaches. The reason why you were getting headaches because you're not naturally used to seeing 60 frames per second. It looks a lot better, but you're naturally not looking at it. So a lot of people, when they got these Blu-rays, they was getting headaches. You know what I'm saying? Just like when VR, like I have a ton of VR headsets, and I don't really stay in VR too much because it gives me a headache, right? So that's why we don't review too many VR games here on the Gamer Show. I do have the Oculus Quest 2, and that's still sitting in the box, and we still haven't reviewed that. So we're so behind right now due to this Grand Wizard causing this COVID. So that before I go on, KastAway just launched today. They got a brick and mortar down DC where you can go pick up your items. Now with KastAway sales, they sell home goods, all assortment types of stuff that you can put in your home, nice little gifts and things like that. So y'all should go and check this out at KastAway. I'm telling you, pick up some bargains. Tell them that Fred Y from the Gamer Show, Fred Y and Mike C from the Gamer Show sent y'all, man. Not saying that you're gonna get a discount, but just tell them that we sent y'all over there. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it don't give us anything, trust me. So we're not affiliated with them, but we just sponsor people out here that But yeah, that's it. KastAway, and the description is in the link below. So y'all go check that out. Please support. Okay. So getting back to the video thing. So, where was that? So getting back to, I forgot where I left off. 720p and all this other stuff. So you want to, you want to know that first, right? Before you start getting your cameras. And do your research before you get your cameras. Don't take my word for it. Do not take my word for it. Just go out on YouTube, because YouTube is the best school. YouTube is the best school ever. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where I learned how to do video production, and that's where I learned how to do most of my craft that I used to do. So go out there, man, and research that for the best video cameras. Me, I'm particularly attached to Blackmagic. I love their products. I have a lot of their products, man. Production wise, yo, it's fantastic. It's awesome. So you want to go through that, get your cameras situated and stuff like that. Echo, Alexa, turn volume down to 0. Alexa, mute yourself. All right. So you need to know that the frame rate of your camera and all that it can do. I would recommend you to go over to Blackmagic's website, look at some of their camera. You can get the Pocket Cinema cameras, the 4K or the 6K or the 6K Pro. I have the 4K and the 6K. You could just venture around. There's not that many tape-based cameras out there. I can say there's no tape-based professional cameras out there because we all record on SD cards or CFast cards or USB-C cards. What I can tell you is if you're looking for a camera now, look for a camera that you can record onto a USB-C card, right? Blackmagic offers that. You can hook a USB hard drive up to it, USB-C type hard drive up to it, and you can record whatever. They say there's a specification on some of the hard drives that you can use, but I haven't had a problem with any of them. You know what I'm saying? And there are adapters that you can get, like a USB 3.0 to a USB-C type. I'll show you one real quick. So this thing right here, this is a USB-C type connection, but it takes USB 3.0. See, that's USB-C and that's USB 3.0. You just plug your 3.0 in there and you plug it up. Now I can plug this into my Blackmagic cameras and it'll record straight on there. Okay, so that's what you want to look at. You want to look at a camera that you can record that type of media on. So that would be a good thing. Okay, so after you get your camera and you got your computer and you got the type of software that you want to work on, now doing video production is more than just flipping on a camera and pressing record. It's way much more than that. There are certain things that you have to do. Now I make plenty of mistakes. Sometimes when I'm not in the right mind, I make a lot of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really do video production services for anybody when my head's not clear. Because if my head's not clear, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. So going through some stuff right now, but you know, as far as me doing video work for anybody else is pretty much out the question, or forming a partnership with doing video work for somebody else. I'm just staying in my lane and doing stuff for the gaming show. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I can recommend people to you that if you want some video production services done, you go to them. Don't bother me about it. So with that, after you got all that, you just got to make sure that your camera can do what you want to be done. Now, if you're a person that wants to do a lot of slow motion effects and all that other stuff, well, you have to get a camera that's going to enable you to do that. And you have to search on how many frames per second can this thing shoot, right? So I think the Blackmagic camera that I was going to get, it shot at 220 frames. And that was super duper slow motion. When you play that back, it was going to be so crisp. The 6K that I have can do slow motion. The 4K I have can do slow motion. All both of my JVCs can also do slow motion. But the JVCs don't do as good of a job as my Blackmagic cameras. So, do your research on that. And again, with the cameras, if you get something like a 12K or 16K camera, that's essentially like getting two cameras. Because what happens is, again, if you're doing an interview style like this, where you have one person talk to the other person, well, if you shoot that in 12K, you can crop that person, right? You can take this person and you can dump that person out and you can crop it where they're in the middle and you're not losing any type of pixelation. Now look at my fat fingers. Look at my fat hand. You know what I'm saying? You're not losing depending on where you're watching this at, you're not losing no type of pixelation. And that's if you're shooting in 12K and you're putting it into a 1080p timeline. So that's one of the tricks that you can do, doing 12K, recording in 12K and putting it in a lower timeline. You can stretch the hell out of that footage and it'll look like you shot with 6 different fucking cameras. You know what I'm saying? That's just all it is. You're shooting. You can buy the best quality camera, and you can split that shit up so it makes it look like you got 3 or 4 cameras. You know what I'm saying? What you don't do is you don't take a damn iPhone or a Galaxy with it. I don't give a shit how many megapixels that shit got and all that. Now, I do say, like I said before in my last stream, that somebody did shoot a movie with a iPhone, right? That's fine and dandy. But if you show up to a production shoot and all you guys is a goddamn iPhone, especially if the shit's cracked, get the fuck off my set. You know what I mean? That's what the fuck I mean, man. Don't show up to no damn shoot with no damn iPhone or no phone or no Galaxy or no shit like, because you're not going to get that respect. Even though it's capable of doing a good job, not a great job, but although it's capable of doing a good job, you're not going to get respected for shooting with a fucking cell phone. It's no way. I don't care how much of a beast you are in the nonlinear application that you use to edit that stuff at, but if I see you walking up and I don't see no camera bags or camera gear and you here to shoot a music video, for me, Slim, you going to take some of this money off, man. Because the only thing, I could have just gave you my camera phone and you could have shot with me. Or I could have went to go get a Straight Talk phone, get one of these cheesy pixelated fucking cameras like I got. Matter of fact, where is my phone? I don't know where it's at. Oh. But, no. Okay. So, other thing. Now you got the camera and your computer or your Mac or your PC, and then the software. You got all that shit straight. The next thing you have to do is lighting, right? So if you're one production company like myself, right? I have to deal with lighting. I have to deal with sound, and I have to deal with video, and I also have to deal with editing. In a real professional world, you would have a separate entity with all of that. You would have one video guy. You would have one lighting guy. You would have one sound guy. Because I've done it. I've ran all 3. But sometimes it comes out good. And then sometimes it doesn't. There's always a hiccup in that case. Because if you can't monitor the sound, maybe the video goes out. And you're not there to catch it because you're focusing on the sound. Now, depending on how you're setting it up with a 810 switcher, you'll be able to catch it. But you need multiple people. You need people that's proficient in those different categories. Proficient in sound, proficient in lighting, proficient in photography or videography. You need those 3 separate entities on your team. But if you got to do it by yourself, like I do or like I did, then fuck it. Just go ahead and do it to the best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? Work your kinks out. And one thing, when you start dealing with customers, you have to set the pace. You can't let your customer set the pace, right? For instance, you can't let your customer dictate when and what time that shoot is going to start. Okay? If you're doing a shoot and your customer is rushing you, hey, are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? Instead of saying, please shut the fuck up and let me do what I got to do, what I do is I sometimes ignore them. I don't do it on purpose, but if I'm that busy, if anybody have seen me in the video production world, if you see me live doing stuff, you may be saying something to me and I'm totally not hearing you. And it's not because I'm not ignoring you or I'm not doing it on purpose. It's that my mind is now transformed into 5 different fucking people. And it's hard for me to keep focus with the mental blocks that I have in my head to focus on every fucking thing. So I get discombobulated. We was at one, my man Mike, he was with me at one time, and we were setting up for a show that this bam ass nigga did not show up for. It fucked me up on that show. And he said he kept calling my name. Now Mike is cool to me. Mike is my man. 50 grand. And my key must be here. But I didn't hear him. I didn't hear him at all. Because I was just doing something. And should I go get my key? I can't get up because I'm in my boxes. If I get up, y'all gonna see my drawers. What happened was I just came back from I keep saying Minnesota. I just came back from wherever the fuck I was at. And the car that I rented, I got the same type of car that I rented, and I gave them my key, and they have my key. And they were supposed to be shipping my key back today, and I think that's what was at my front door now. But I don't want to get up because, well, y'all know how I am. I don't have no damn cut cards. But I could check my cameras. Okay. But yeah. So damn, I forgot what I was saying. So with that being said, well, until I can remember what I was saying, hey y'all, KastAway has launched today. They have a brick and mortar. What they do is they sell home goods, and you can go in there and find yourself a bargain, nice assortment type of stuff. Where your home treasures are most. Where your home's treasures most. Okay, so that was a slogan because I couldn't remember what it said. But y'all can go there, y'all can check it out, and y'all can get y'all some stuff, some home goods, some nice decorum stuff, man. Design your home, great gift ideas for you know what I'm saying. Just go there and just support our black folks, man. You know what I'm saying. Support our black folks. So y'all go to KastAway, check that out, get you something. You know what I'm saying? If it's like $5 or $10, $20 or $50, man, just support the cause, man. This is not about the gaming show. This is about supporting young black businesses. So y'all go there and y'all go support these people, and you know what I'm saying? Tell them that the gaming show sent you. Okay. What's happening? What's happening, Mad Max? So that's what you do. So remember, again, invest in yourself, because nobody's going to invest for you. And depending on the type of equipment that you get when you do your video production services, is the type of equipment that you're going to give out to the public or to your customers. You know what I'm saying? So if you get some cheap shit, you're going to give out some cheap shit. If you get cheap product, you're going to give out cheap product. So, you know, don't do the bullshit way. Do the gung-ho way. If this is your passion or if it's a hobby thing, do it to your best ability. Because even your hobbies, you may turn that into a career move. Again, like if you start doing a lot of shit that you like, it's not work at all. It's not work at all. It's like off topic again. When I was a Geek Squad technician, 8 hours would go flying by. It seems like after as soon as I got there, the morning meeting, it was like 2 hours later, it was time to go the fuck home because I loved doing what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? But if you love what you're doing, just, you know what I'm saying? It won't be work. Trust me. So I covered the software. I covered the hardware. I covered some of the hardware as far as your camcorder. I told you I don't recommend you doing a DSLR. You could do that at the beginning, but the only problem with a DSLR is that it's timed how long your video can record. A DSLR is only capable of recording no more than 15 minutes. You know, so if you're doing a music video, you know, it's probably good. Like, you know, I did have a music video that I was about to do, and I was going to use my gimbal, my Xeon gimbal, and instead of using the Blackmagic camera, I was going to use my new Canon camera. I was going to put that on the gimbal because it's more lightweight than putting that Blackmagic camera on there, and I was going to use that. So, but I was going to just shoot B-roll with that. Oh, and B-roll. You also need to know what B-roll is. B-roll is just filler material for your footage. So say you got a rapper or whatever, and you're like, you know what I'm saying? That's the main shit when he, you know what I'm saying, rapping. The B-roll shit is the slow motion shit of him bobbing his head or a girl gyrating or, you know what I'm saying? That's the B-roll part of it. You know what I mean? So you can shoot B-roll at any frame rate because you're just shooting it. Well, no, I'm not going to say you can shoot it at any frame rate. B-roll tends to be slow motion, right? Or it could be anything. It could be anything. But if you're going to do slow motion with it, you just need to make sure that this piece of camera equipment that you're getting is going to do the stuff that you want it to do. Now, if your pockets ain't that deep to begin with, you can only afford what you can afford, right? You can always go to Walmart or Target and you can get one of these Rebel cameras, these T7Is or whatever, because these are pretty good cameras. Those Canon cameras are pretty good. I've never had a problem with any Canon camera that I've owned. And with those Canon cameras, those TIs, they have interchangeable lenses. So you can put some high quality glass on there, or you can put the cheap stuff on there, the 18 to 85, or what is it, 15 to something, or whatever that stock camera lens is. You know, people start off with that and they shoot music videos with that, and you really can't tell that they shot with that Canon and that type of glass at 18 to 55. I think that's what that is, 18 to 55. So people can't tell, but you can start off with that. But remember, you don't want to use that in a professional field when you're going out, if you're going to do like documentaries or something like that. Because like I said, if you do documentaries with that type of camera, what's going to happen is that in mid-sentence, that camera may stop recording. And now you may not know when that camera stopped recording, and then you're going to have to do that take again, or you're going to have to pick up from that last word. And it's just so difficult, and just so, just don't do it. Just don't do it. And then another reason why you don't want to do a lot of DSLRs is because they don't have what's called a clean HDMI out. Okay. A clean HDMI out is what when you hook your, take your DSLR, your camera, your point and shoot, hook that up to your TV, right? Now, when you hook it up to your TV and you look at your display on your TV, if you see all this shit like aperture, ISO, and battery life and all that other stuff, that means that it doesn't have a clean HDMI out. If you see that little green box in the middle of your footage, that means you don't have a clean HDMI out. Now you can move that box to like either the lower right or the lower left or the upper right or the upper left, and you can kind of hide that with a like a watermark or something like that. But who wants to do that? And then if you have the autofocus on and you forgot to turn that off, then your footage is just gonna look funny all the time. You know what I'm saying? But they do have DSLRs that do have a clean HDMI out that you can use, and that's like those Mark whatever. Mark, you know what? Because Mark I think he has the Canon camera, and he does his videos, Elbow Media. Y'all go check him out too. So he does his stuff, and he does a wonderful job. My man Eric, I don't know what he uses, but Glovebox Gaming, y'all go out there, y'all check his stuff out too. I don't know what camera he uses, but you can see it in his footage that he took a lot of time and a lot of patience and a lot of practice and just a lot. He invested in himself to get that thing going on. Because I call him my family member. You know what I'm saying? Because when I first met Eric and Mark, they was watching my show, and we became good friends after, you know, corresponding back and forth. And Eric started doing his own show, and Mark started back up doing his own show, because I think he was doing it before. And you look at these cats, and it's like they have gone just like skyrocket. I mean, if you look at Mark's show or you look at Glovebox Gaming Show, you can swear these motherfuckers been doing this for like over 20 years and shit, because their video is so crisp, so clean, and they take their time with it, and they're meticulous about every aspect of that. Me, I'm just like, my stuff, I don't really do too much to it. I just turn my shit on and just rock with it. But their stuff, if you go to Glovebox Gaming channel or you go to Elbow Media Studio channel, their shit is phenomenal, bro. Their shit is phenomenal. And check them out. You know what I'm saying? Also, check out KastAway. Let me put up the graphic. Y'all check out KastAway, man. Just launched today, bro. Just launched today, man. Y'all can go there and get some home decorum stuff, man. Some nice stuff. You can go to the website, check that out. They got a brick and mortar store where you can go pick your stuff up. It's in Washington, D.C. So if you're local to the DMV area, you can get your stuff and you can go down there and pick your stuff up, man. So go check that out. But getting back to the thing at hand, this went way longer than what I thought it was going to be. Like I said, Eric, man, I was right by your house, bro. I was right by your house. And I was like, I'm going to call him, but I figured you was asleep because you know you got to go to work. But I was going to stop past, man. Let me see what time is it. Yeah. All right. So with all that being said, man, after you get all that stuff situated, sound is very important. Now, although your camera, oh damn, man, if I would have known that, I would have stopped past, man. I damn sure would have. With audio, okay, just because you have a professional camcorder doesn't mean that you're gonna get professional audio. Okay, it is a camera first before anything. Secondary camera, secondary audio device. Right now, the Blackmagic Pocket cameras do have an XLR feed in it where you can hook up your external soundboard and you can feed everything into that camera, right? So that goes strictly on the card. So that is not always the case. If you're recording just on that camera hardware Well, sometimes that sound is not going to be as good as you doing an external thing. Now, most people go to the Zoom products. It's called I have the H4 Zoom, and it has phantom power. And if you don't know what phantom power is, please research it. Phantom power gives that extra voltage to make that microphone sound very clear. Okay, so if you're doing any production work, you want to do it with a phantom power source. So you want to do it with a phantom power mic, and you want to do it with a phantom power device that can give that phantom powered mic that voltage that it needs to get that clear and crisp sound. So you want to do that. And sound is very important. Sound is very important when you're doing this. I would go as far as getting what's called lapel mics or lav mics. They're the same fucking thing. So you get those mics and make sure that they are phantom powered. Now I know I said, I don't go into the brick and mortar stores to buy my equipment, but I have found some good lapel mics that I got off of Amazon. Now, Amazon sells everything. Amazon sells every fucking thing. I found some great lapel mics on there that use phantom power, and they're pretty good. So, the phantom power mics, and then the lighting, LED lighting. Now, you have to be careful on the lighting that you get, because this is what happens. A lot of people make mistakes on the type of lighting that they get when they do video. There is video lighting and there is photo lighting, right? If you're going to do video, it's best that you get LED lighting. It's depending on what type of LED lighting that you get. Because what happens is you can't see it with the natural eye, but light flickers back and forth. So if you took your camera and you looked at the light, if it flickers, you don't want to use that type of lighting. There's a difference, like I said. And that's going to come off in your footage. So if you're doing a wedding or something like that, and you have those type of lighting, that light that the camera sees as flickering, well, guess what your photos, your video is going to look like? It's going to look like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a strobe light section. You know what I mean? So you want to get those particular lights. Now, video lights are LEDs. And when you look at, like, if you're getting your stuff from Amazon, you have to make sure that it says video, not photo. If you're doing photography, get the photo lights. If you're doing video, you get the video lights. Get the video lights, because I've had an incident where I shot something and I'm playing back the footage and I'm like, why the fuck is this shit flickering? I'm like, what's going on? And then I don't know how it came to fruition that I was using the wrong lights, but at the end of the day, I found out that I was using the wrong lighting. So that take got totally fucked up, and I had to reshoot that scene. But you have to get video lighting, not photo lighting, video lighting. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and just pick up any random lighting off of Amazon, and you're going to be in a world of hurt when you see that shit, okay? And let me see. I covered lighting. I covered sound. I covered everything. Like I said, this wasn't going to be too much of a visual type thing. Look, I'll tell y'all this, and I use this as an analogy. If you're going to invest in yourself, especially if you're going to invest in this portion of doing like video and stuff like that, get the best. Try to get the best. If you can't get the best right now, then save up for it. If you need something immediately, like I said, you can start off with a DSLR to get you through, but that's not going to get you all the way, because they have a time limit on how much they can record. You can do music videos, great, all day long with DSLRs. Great music videos. The slow motion and all that other stuff, it's really dependent on the software that you have and how you tweak that camera. You know what I'm saying? If you do anything in life, if you want to go pick up monkey shit for a living, if you wanted to start a Joe monkey shit picking up service, right? And you got to be the best monkey shit picker upper in town. You got to have the best shovels. You got to have the best fucking bags. You got to have the best whatever. And you say, man, and people in the street be like, man, I got to call Joe because, man, he picked the shit out of this monkey shit. Man, he picked that shit up. My ground be like, it'd be no monkey shit on my ground. You know what I'm saying? I just use that as an analogy. I know it's a little too far. But if you're going to pick up monkey shit for the rest of your life and you're going to turn that into a profit, then buy the best monkey shit supplies that you can get. Buy the best. Buy the best. Buy the best shovels. Buy the best bags. Buy the best boots. Because you're going to step in the monkey. You're going to be stepping in the monkey shit all day long. Buy the best every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? And so when that customer come out and they don't see no monkey shit on the ground, they don't smell no monkey shit on the ground, they be like, the next time I get some monkey shit, I'm calling you. You know what I'm saying? Or my neighbor got monkey shit over there. I need you to go get that. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, you the monkey shit king. Everybody starts off in their hobby, I can say, like, just learning. With this video production stuff, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. I make mistakes to this day. Man. I swear I make, what's up, Abby? I make mistakes to this day. And I tell you, man, you can only get better. You can only get better. You know what I'm saying? So I tell you, do what you gotta do. Get the best out of what you're trying to get, and just have fun with it. But if you're gonna do this type of work, it's going to get very expensive. With any type of work that you do, any type of profession that you're getting into, it's going to get expensive. No doubt about it. But there are a lot of tutorials. There are a lot of reviews that you can look at online. You can look at a lot of YouTube videos to get an idea of video production. Somebody had, emailed me about doing video production. So if you just joined, you missed a whole lot of information. You have to go back and catch that. But yeah. So that's it. I don't really have no more else to say. But just invest in yourself. Nobody's going to see your dream the way that you see it. Nobody. So it's best that you go in. If you have somebody that's going to help you, then that's cool. That's cool. But if you're gonna go, if you're gonna go into any business, man, just go into it wholeheartedly. Try your best. If you fail, you fail. If you succeed, if you do succeed, this is what I will ask you to do. There's a person out there that's trying to get a business. It may be similar as yours, or it may not be. There's hundreds of video production companies. There are 100 photographer companies. There are just 100 different type of companies around, right? You don't have to show them your full plan, but you can show them how you got there eventually. If you turn out to be one fantastic chef, I mean, you're like Gordon Ramsay 1,000,000 times over. and you know somebody that wants to be a chef, but you don't have to tell them your secrets and stuff like that. But just give them a mild full plan on how to get to where they got to. You got to share the wealth. And I'm gonna say most black people, and I'm not racist against black people because I love black. I'm dark as shit myself, so how can I be a racist person? Most black people are like crabs in the barrel. They don't want to see anybody succeed. They try to pull them down. When they try to get to the top, they want to pull them down. Oh, trust me. I fucking know. They want to pull people down because they don't want them to get out. You know what I'm saying? And then when they try to get out, somebody else pulling them down. And we're the only people that do that. We're the only people that know information, how to succeed, and we don't share that. That's why I do these type of videos. I don't give a shit if you make $1 million off of what I've given you today. That's you. You do you. You take what I taught you today, or you take what you learned today, you run with it. If you're a success out of it, hey, I'm proud of it. If you're not, then okay. It does not matter to me. But what I do is I like to share the wealth. I like to share the information that I have. Yeah. You got to go to our YouTube page, man. You can see all the videos there. But we're the only people that do that, man. We're the only people that do that. And some people may get mad if they're looking on Facebook or Twitch or YouTube. But hey, what you can do is you can go watch somebody else if you feel offended. But that's what our people tend to do. They don't share the wealth. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold somebody down that you see that's trying to succeed in life just because you're selfish. If they surpass you, then fine. You know what I'm saying? Like my man Mark and my man Glovebox Gaming. They got way more subscribers than I got. But I've been doing this before them. But hey, guess what? I'm fucking proud of them. I love them to death. Mark, fantastic fucking job. Eric, fantastic fucking job. You know what I'm saying? These are my guys, man. You know what I'm saying? And they way surpassed me. They way surpassed the Gamer Show. You know what I'm saying? And I don't hold no grudges. I'd be like, yeah, fucking go on. Because guess what's going to happen? If Eric or Mark get on, guess who's coming along for the ride? I guarantee you. Oh, yeah, I got the Gamer Show, this, that, and the other. Just like if I got up there big, I already got folks that I know that I'm taking with me. I know Glovebox is coming, and I damn sure know that Elbow Media is coming. So it's nothing there. So that's a team, that's a family right there. Or Chimmy. You know what I'm saying? Done. If any of these dudes start a cast and they've been watching the show, guess who they going to guess if they go to the Video Game Awards or some shit and they say, I'd be like, oh, shout the Game Show out. You think they gonna say, nah, I ain't shouting you out. I'm too big now. Nah, fuck no. They gonna be like, Eric gonna be up there at the Video Game Awards show, be like, yeah, man, the Gamer Show. Elbow Media gonna be at the Video Game Awards or at the Grammys, be like, yeah, the Gamer Show. You know what I'm saying? So that shit I don't worry about, bro. That shit I don't worry about. I take the knowledge that I got and I give it free of hand. Because when I started this YouTube shit and this Facebook shit and this Twitch shit, especially with Twitch, I would watch these shows and I would compliment these cats. Nobody would respond to me. Like, yo, your stream looks good, bro. Like, what are you using to get that type of quality? No fucking response. None. But if you donate some money to these clowns, hey, shout out. I mean, I never did. But, hey, thank you, Blase Blow. So, yeah, I don't watch too much TV as well. I start watching all television and football. I'm not a sports fan at all. So, Yeah, but that's it. That's it. Sorry you came in so late, Abby, man. I'm about to take it down because I got some animation I gotta do. I just tried to do this quick show because somebody had reached out to me and they want to know production. But Abby, while you're here, man, what you're seeing on the screen now is KastAway. They just launched today. They have a brick and mortar. What they sell is home goods, man. Decorum stuff for your house. You can go there, pick up some items for your house, man. Pick up some decorum. Pick up some gifts. Pick up a lot of stuff for, you know what I'm saying? Just household goods, man. A lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Go past there. The description is in the bottom. Y'all go check them out. You know what I'm saying? Spend some money there. I don't know where you live at, but if you're outside of the DMV area, they can also mail this stuff to you. If you're in the DMV area, you can pick it up. It's in Washington, D.C. Yeah, the Gamer Show has a cartoon that we've been working on for some years, and I wasn't never able to really commit to it because I was always on the road. But now while I'm here temporarily, I'm gonna start doing trying to get this footage out there. So yeah, that's what I'm at least attempt to do. So that's about it. That's about it, y'all. Yeah. So thank you all for watching. Please, again, man, go to KastAway and get some home decorum goodness. Get you some stuff for the house. You know what I'm saying? And it's a black-owned business. Bro, it's beautiful. It just launched today. Y'all can go pick up some stuff, go to the website, go shop around. You can get some things, some items out of there, and you'll be good. So, I appreciate y'all watching, and we will be back next week sometime. All right, good thing, man. There's a lot of fucking videos on there, bro. So appreciate y'all watching, man. Damn, Eric, if I would have known, I would have stopped past your house, man. We could have did an episode at your house. But yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a call after this. All right, I'll holler at y'all. See y'all later.